Welcome back to another episode of Sentience, conversations about lives being lived. I'm your host, Alison. It has been an incredible few weeks since filming episode 1, beginning to air it in Hawaii and streaming it online. Emotion, growth, insight. I was honestly slightly terrified to officially push the launch button and share the show with the world. I was even nervous to share it with my closest friends. An idea I developed in my mind was suddenly coming to life on screen at a rapid rate, and it left me both in awe and wonder. I found that I had to step away from the mindset of things I could have done better and shift to congratulating myself on a job well done, which is often easier said than done. But I actively did it. I chose to believe in myself. I told the inner critic to listen to the encouraging voice within, and I was pleasantly pleased with the process that unfolded. I took a deep breath and began sharing the first episode. And in return, I received heartfelt feedback and congratulatory messages from friends and colleagues around the world. I had done it. I had achieved my vision of bringing sentience to life. I was proud, and most importantly, I embraced not only the pride, but also the fear. That pride continues to evolve each day, I am finding, as I work toward developing new episodes where people can share their stories about what makes them, them. I love meeting people from all walks of life and learning about their lives, their dreams, their inherent gifts, their quirky hobbies, their joys and fears, what makes them thrive, and what they feel holds them back. It is all part of the human experience that so often can go unheard or even dormant due to the very busy and increasingly complicated world we live in. Being able to step out of the rapid race of each day and witness the unique experience of a person's memories coming to surface, the excitement of a story being told, the expressions and thoughts on a person's face as they remember. It truly is a gift to be a part of this inherently human experience, and one that I am proud to have developed a platform for others to witness as well. In episode 1, we explored the intertwining of filmmaking and music through documentary films. For episode 2, we will explore film further, this time with a focus on faith through short films. Sentience's guest today is an up-and-coming filmmaker whose vision and ambition continues to amaze me in each conversation that we have together. Amia Datts-Voluntad, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
It is an absolute pleasure to have you here today. I am really excited to talk with you about your journey and how you've come to decide that filmmaking is a path for your career and your dreams and visions. So, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm thrilled. Why don't we start with you telling me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So, I'm a filmmaker, and I've been doing film for going on 6 years now. I started when I first moved to Maui, originally from Pennsylvania, and I've always been, ever since I was little, always was super interested in the arts. So I loved acting, dancing, writing, and drawing. So I always have been a very creative person. And yeah, I just love film because I feel like it almost combines all of those mediums that I love into one amazing thing. So that's a little bit about me.
Okay, and so you're originally from Pennsylvania.
Yes.
What brought you to Maui?
My dad's work originally, and also we were just looking for a change. It was very fast-paced in Pennsylvania, and I was interested in ballet at the time, and I was shifting. I wasn't really interested in it anymore. So,
were you living in an urban part of Pennsylvania or more nature, country?
We lived in the suburbs for a little bit. For most of my life, we lived in the suburbs. Towards the end of our time there, we moved to the city to be closer to the studio and our church.
Okay.
So yeah, we lived in Philadelphia for some time.
Okay. Oh, I love Philadelphia. Well, the reason I ask is because I know how much you love nature, and so I'm originally from Chicago, and being in that big city environment, and then coming to a place like Maui that is so lush with beautiful nature and incredible scenery is quite a gift.
Yes,
so
it is.
I'm happy that came into your life the way it did. So you mentioned that you've always been involved in art in some way. Was there a specific moment or experience that brought you to filmmaking?
So I've always, when I was little, I always loved writing plays and scripts, and I actually was fascinated with movie making from a young age. I just didn't quite understand it, so all I could connect it with was Hollywood and acting. So that's when I got really interested in acting. I got to act in a short film early on. I was about 8 when I acted in my first short film. And I saw a bit of the behind the scenes, and I remember being really interested. And it wasn't until I got older I was doing a lot more ballet at that time. But I was just in love with writing scripts, and I had this, like, at the time it was a hobby, but I really loved, like, creating little movies with my dolls and writing these scripts, and it really was just bringing that passion back to life. I just didn't realize it at the time. And then moving here, I just had the space and freedom to just dive wholeheartedly in, because I stopped doing ballet and there were no other hindrances, I felt like. So I would say when I moved here was the time it really took off. But I feel like as far as filmmaking being a passion, it was always there, just it needed to be guided.
It needed to be guided. I love that. Okay, and so primarily you focus on short films. What is your calling to do short films versus feature-length films or documentaries?
Yeah, I actually do eventually want to start making my own feature-length films. Right now, the short films I'm using almost as practice to get to that point.
Okay.
As far as like me doing more narrative films and documentary, that's honestly, I think, just to my artistic side of things. I love writing and I love like crafting characters. It's one of the things I love the most, and I love taking different aspects of real life and creating them into this entire model and this entire story. But yeah, actually I want to dibble into documentary filmmaking a little bit more too.
Well, I've really had a chance to dive into short films since meeting you and learning about all of your films, and it's a really special medium with filmmaking. You can tell such powerful stories in just a few minutes, and it's really intriguing to me. And I feel like in the film industry, sometimes short films don't necessarily get the recognition that they well deserve. Of course, there's awards specifically for shorts, but I find them incredible. And so what a wonderful way to start your career and really honing in on your craft in that specific medium with filmmaking. So
yeah.
It's so cool. But it's exciting to hear that you are interested in also doing feature length and documentaries and really expanding on your experience in the industry. So I think that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Is there a specific director that inspires you?
Oh wow, that's a question I get asked a lot. And to be honest, I can't pinpoint one exactly. I'm more of one who, there are certain films that will inspire me, but as far as like a specific director, I actually used to really follow a lot of directors, but I ended up taking a step back because I noticed how much it was hindering my own vision and my own ability to like find myself. So I'm always interested in the ones who start from nothing. Like their first feature-length film was made with like $100, and I'm always interested in those stories. But as far as like a specific director who I follow, I tend to kind of step back and to let my own creative energy flow.
Your art, letting your art flow. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. In conversations we have had, you often discuss vision when thinking about a new project. Are there moments or feelings that you have that they let you know that, okay, this needs to be brought to life on screen. I need to make this into a film?
Yeah, it's usually something that it won't go away. It's something that a lot of times for me, I have a lot of ideas. So just from daily living, like if I made a film out of every idea, I'd have 1,000 films by now. But the ones that I feel like that I know are going to be made, I usually feel it in my heart. And it's something like, it's a lingering thought, and then it just keeps just getting deeper and deeper, and I get more and more interested. And then there's usually this moment where it's just like, yes, like that's it. Like, and those are the ones I usually know, okay, I've got to do something about that. When it just doesn't go away, I'm thinking about it at night. Those are the ones, because I have so many ideas that come and go. Like, I think of them, I forget them the next day. But those ideas that just dwell, and I feel like that's when God really is putting a film on my heart, when I'm stuck on that and I can't think of anything else really.
That's, yeah, listening to those instincts and that inherent voice within. Yeah. Okay, well, your area of interest with filmmaking primarily resides in faith-based content and nature-based content. Can you talk more about why these elements have inspired you so deeply that you develop much of your art around them?
Yeah, so I believe that God created this world, and I feel like I'm very passionate from the jump. I was always passionate. I wanted to make films that showed the true character of God. I feel like he's often misinterpreted in this world today, and really being out in nature and being out in his creation, I feel like I found him, I found his character in nature, and I grew to understand, as I grew to understand the plants or the ocean, I feel like I grew to understand him more and myself more. So that's something I really love connecting in my films and in my work, just that deeper connection is oftentimes, I feel like, something that's looked at as separate, and I love exploring the deeper connection between all of it, between God, creation, and us, because we're a part of his creation.
So you find God and faith through the land and nature.
Yeah.
I love that, Amia. Well, I would like to show two of your short films, Home and Belly of the Beast, which I feel really portray your interests in very stunning ways. One very nature-based and one faith-based. So if we can pull up those two shorts, please.
I love being in nature. I can explore, be inspired, and rest in God's presence. We've been home for a few days now, and that's not our average routine. I want to make videos about the amazing places in the world and God's creation. So I made one, right in my backyard. ואנחנו חשבנו נבוא עמוקי אלוהים ומאונה והוא מחולל מפשע אינו מרוכב מעוונותינו
come find Jesus.
Oh, Amia, I have to tell you, when I watched In the Belly of the Beast for the first time, it literally took my breath away. I mean,
Thank you.
it is stunning. It is a stunning piece of work, and I hope you know that because
Thank you.
Extraordinary. When did you make that film?
I made that about 3 years ago. That was actually my first short film that I made completely by myself. I've done a few on a team before, but this was my first independent short. I made it for a 72-hour film contest. And yeah, that was my first experience making a film completely by myself.
Well, that is quite an entry into the filmmaking world. It takes my breath away. It is beautiful, Amia.
Thank you.
Beautiful. And Home, you just have captured so much beauty about Maui through this short film, and really seeing your passion for nature and immersing in that and telling that story in just a few minutes. You have made me quite a big fan of short films.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. All right, well, you are currently a senior in high school.
Yes.
I'd like to repeat that, a senior in high school, and have already been accepted into several film festivals, including the Hawaii International Film Festival, the Christian Youth Film Festival, and most recently the World Whale Film Festival.
Yep.
I have to tell you, Amia, I'm going to tell you a short story. A few months ago, I had the pleasure of being in attendance at the Savannah College of Art and Design's Film Festival. I attended an event where Ron Howard, the prolific director in Hollywood, who's made stunning films throughout his career, he was awarded a Lifetime Achievement in Directing from SCAD at the film festival, and we had the opportunity to attend a screening of 13 Lives. And he talked a bit about his life and how he started his career in acting at a very young age, and really kind of walked away from acting to go into directing. And I had actually just recently finished a memoir that he wrote with his brother Clint that I highly recommend that you read this book. It's called The Boys. The exact title is like A Story of Hollywood and Family. The Boys, A Story of Hollywood and Family. And I actually recommend listening to it like on Audible. It's because they narrate it, and they are quite a pair. And it was really fun to listen to. But he talks a lot in the book about, and he talked a bit at the event about this as well, his passion for filmmaking. And he started in high school. He kind of started to move away from acting and started entering these competitions and making things in his backyard. And I see so many similarities in you with his story. And so it's just really wonderful to see such a young person embracing film in this way, in a way that a lot of people don't do until they're much older, because it is a very big commitment, and it's so technical. And I feel every time we are together, you're talking about a new camera or different kinds of shots or angles, and what often talking to someone in high school, they're not going to be talking about these things. So I really appreciate that about you, and I really see that spark within you. And so it was really nice to see these similarities with these prolific directors, and seeing that you're on quite a path. And I'm really excited for you to see where your career goes. In that regard, it's just keep at it. And I can't wait to see what you create. I cannot wait to see what you create. It's just, you do have so many ideas, and it's beautiful and amazing. So
Thank you so much.
I'm proud of you. Yes. Okay. So In the Belly of the Beast, you mentioned was created in a 72-hour competition. Okay, so I've heard a lot about these 48-hour competitions or 72-hour competitions. Can you talk more about that? Because that just sounds like a really stressful experience so you're starting the film from scratch,
Yes.
right? And you have 2 days or 3 days to do a full film. Are they usually shorts?
Yeah,
have to be done?
usually
Okay.
usually short.
Okay, please, can you tell me more about this? Because when I think about that, my stress level just, I just, wow. And it sounds like quite an undertaking. So can you just talk a little bit about how the process works?
Yeah, sure. So a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them will also give you prompts and usually find out like at the kickoff moment. So this one, for example, we got the prompts were dance, other cultures, and I forget the third prompt, but I remember that our genre was film noir. So, which I knew nothing about. So the film was actually, I decided to do more of a neo-noir style, but this is all like, they tell you that, you go. Like, okay, we are on a Zoom call talking about it. Great, you've got 72 hours to write, shoot, and edit your film now.
So they just give you like a short list of directions and a category, and you're off and running.
Not all of them do. Some of them is just free-for-all, but some of the ones that I've done will give you little guidelines, which I've actually found is harder almost because I'll be brainstorming an idea, and then they'll throw in like, I had a whole idea going into this, and then they threw in, okay, here's your category. And I was like, whoa, what?
Wow.
But it is.
Do you feel as a person breaking into the filmmaking industry and into that world, do you feel like that's a good exercise to do for filmmakers?
I do, because a lot of times for filmmakers and artists in general, one of the hardest things is we can be perfectionists and we want everything just so, and we want the script to be just so. Those challenges kind of force your hand a little bit to just go and create something. Like there's no waiting for, oh, I'll wait till I can get this camera, I'll wait until I can get these actors, I'll wait. It's, nope, here you go. And it's good practice because it does a lot of times, especially now that I've made bigger films, a lot of times filmmaking is, oh, we've got to change plans and do something on the fly. And I notice those challenges do help you exercise that creativity in a very short time, where when you do have that dream project you've spent years working on, you're able to kind of say, oh, not able to get the actors, here, we can adjust. Oh, not able to get here where, like I thought, okay, we've got to adjust. And you're able to make those quick decisions. Mm.
And when you enter these contests, are they kind of last minute announcements, or are they something that a filmmaker can prepare for, knowing, okay, I know that this organization is going to announce this competition, this is coming up, it's scheduled.
Right.
Or are they, hey, we have this competition, you have 1 day to sign up for it? Like,
yeah, most of them
usually work?
Most of them are in advance. Sometimes you find out last minute. So if you're on Instagram and you're scrolling and you see one of them pop up and you want to do it, sometimes you might have a day to sign up. But usually they give you at least a week or two to sign up and get on. But
you can prepare
that doesn't mean
somewhat.
Yeah.
But you're still going into it blindly.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what the directions are going to be and the rules and regulations.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, that gives me more perspective. Because when I just hear, you have to make this film in 48 hours or 72 hours, oh my goodness. That just seems so intense. But I imagine that it really allows you to tap into your inherent gifts and really see what you're made of.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of like a boot camp.
Yeah, it is.
I guess it's a film boot camp, huh? Well, In the Belly of the Beast, like I said, takes my breath away, and that was your first one of these types of competitions.
Yes.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Your film, A Living Ocean, was recently accepted into a Hawaii-based film festival. It is such an important film, and I, especially coming from a young person, and your perspective on the content. So can you share more about why it was important for you to make this film?
Yeah, so I actually got approached to make this film by another organization on the mainland, and we had been talking back and forth, and they wanted to make a film that featured the SDG goals of the ocean, life below water. And they were saying that, of course, in the mainland there aren't many resources of ocean. I shouldn't say in the mainland, where I am from on the mainland. But
oh, this was an organization from your hometown?
they were in New York, so very
East
close.
Coast. Okay.
Yeah, very close to where I was. So they wrote me, asked if I wanted to do the film, and I signed up. And I think it is something that's important. Especially, it was really awesome. Like, a lot of the voices in that film were from people back east, and I felt like it was really important for, even though I might live near the ocean, they may live nowhere near the ocean. It affects all of us, and if it goes, it's not just affecting people who live on the island. It's affecting people who live on the mainland, people who live in other countries. It's all connected, and I really wanted to showcase that in this film. And I also wanted to showcase the life moving here. I experienced the ocean in a whole nother way, and the life that I just feel God's presence in the ocean, and it's alive, and it's something I feel like is often not viewed that way. And I really wanted to capture that in this film. Like, no, like, this is a living thing. This is alive, and what we're doing is harming it. Like, I wouldn't want to go up to a human and seeing them as a living thing and hurt them. Well, I wouldn't want to do that to any of creation, but in this particular film I focused on the ocean.
And the ocean is really struggling.
Yeah.
So yeah, this film is very, very important. Okay, well, I would love to run the film for our viewers. So if we can pull that up, please.
The ocean is alive. Everything on Earth needs it to survive.
You, me, everything.
We love the ocean. It's like our home, and so just care for it and love it and respect it, because when we're in the ocean, we're in the ocean's territory. Like, we're in all of those animals. It's like we're in their home when we enter the water, and so just like respect it and care for it, and it will care for you back.
As a Hawaiian girl, born and raised in Hawaii and right on the beach, I rely a lot on the ocean, not just for surfing, but for diving and fishing and being able to live off of the ocean. Back in the day, that's what the Hawaiians relied on. They relied on the ocean and what it had to offer.
The reef is also alive, a living, breathing organism.
A place that provides oxygen and protection, a beautiful and essential ecosystem.
A hurting and dying victim.
In pursuit of our happiness and what we call progress, we've grown to be careless and lacking awareness.
Unless we change our definition of success, the reef will soon become lifeless.
And everything with it.
The way we mindlessly destroy the coral is completely immoral. And yet, we've allowed it to become normal.
Over 1 billion people worldwide rely on the reef for their main source of food and income.
The reef acts as a barrier for our coastlines, protecting it from crashing waves and severe storms.
The coral reefs provide an essential ecosystem, providing many species of marine life food, shelter, and spawning grounds.
50% to 80% of the Earth's oxygen comes from the coral reef.
The loss of the reef would be catastrophic to all of creation.
The thing is that if we value our lives,
as well as the lives of all of creation,
we don't just want the ocean to survive. We want it to thrive.
Everything is connected. You cannot destroy one aspect of creation and expect the rest not to be affected.
Our ocean is facing a dangerous prognosis.
yet this battle for life isn't hopeless.
If you look closely, you can see it's still alive. To continue to abuse it would be unwise.
We need to slow down and realize that in order to survive, we need to prioritize the protection of this life.
Beautiful.
Thank
Beautiful
you.
work, Amia. Yeah, congratulations.
Thank
It's
you.
Beautiful. And so this film was accepted into a film festival.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit more about that and like
Yeah.
your process with that? And
Yeah, do you want to know overall or for this particular?
well, the particular festival for this, I know that there's usually rules and regulations about what you can and can't talk about. So
Yeah.
whatever you can share about this entry and your process with that.
Yeah, so I actually got to attend the World Whale Festival last year, and it was really inspiring. And I had a goal. I was like, I really want to go to this festival one day and have one of my films be playing. And it was really cool. I actually submitted this film. I found out about it by a friend, and she was asking if I had any films available to screen or available to submit. And I was like, oh, I have this one that I did that I can submit. And so I submitted. Fortunately, this one didn't have premiere rules. A lot of them have premiere regulations. This one, there was none of that. So I was able to submit. And I actually found out just recently that I got accepted. And that was extremely exciting. I think I almost cried. It was amazing.
And when is the festival?
The festival will be in June.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah,
it's soon.
so soon, yeah.
It's very soon. Well, you'll have to let me know how everything goes with that.
I will.
That's exciting. That is very exciting. Okay, well, the final films I would like to discuss with you, Silence and The Reconnection, have both done very well on the festival circuit. At the recent, it was just last month, the Christian Youth Film Festival.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to list this here. So Silence won Best Actress, Best Sound, and Best Application of Scripture. The Reconnection won Best Editing, and both films were nominated for Best Picture. Is that correct?
Yes.
Amia, that is incredible. That is incredible. And then the Reconnection was also an official selection for the Future Filmmaker Showcase at the Hawaii International Film Festival.
Yep.
Was that 2022?
That was 2022, yeah.
2022,
so last
okay.
year.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Senior in high school. Wow. Incredible, Amia. These films cover vastly different content, yet are equally incredibly powerful and moving works of art. Were there specific moments in your life that inspired you to make these two films?
Yeah, so for Silence, Silence is a film about systemic racism and oppression. And I actually wrote that film shortly after the death of George Floyd. And I really felt, as an African American woman, I felt like I wanted to do something, but didn't know what to do. And in Silence, a lot of the questions that she's asking were the questions I was asking. It's like, I want to say something, but I kept feeling like, you shouldn't say something, don't say anything, just stay quiet, keep the peace. There's no need to cause any division. And it really was, that film was me working through like, no, wait, but it's important to speak on this, because if we pretend it doesn't exist, it's just a problem that'll keep growing versus something that has to be dealt with, and really realizing, like, wait, but God doesn't like this, God wouldn't want this, and therefore to just pretend it doesn't exist instead of dealing with it, I feel like isn't what he would ask, isn't what he would want to do. And it really was that reality of like, oh wait, like, we don't have to be silent, we shouldn't be silent. And then for The Reconnection, that one is a lot about a young woman. She wants to reconnect with the way God originally created things to be and things of the past. And again, that was another one, my own questions. It was like, I really wanted to reconnect with the way things were. And in this day and age where there's so much other stimulation, it feels really hard to get back to that place and get back to that connection of connecting to God, connecting to creation, and connecting to myself. And that film was also, again, exploring those questions and coming to that reality, like, wait, but it's not all lost. So both films were personal to me, very personal. And
well, this sounds like what you were saying earlier about that voice that doesn't go away. And that's kind of a sign for you that, okay, this is going to be another film.
Yes.
That sounds like that happened with both of these.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. Well, I would like to run clips from, we have a clip of Silence and a trailer for The Reconnection.
Yeah.
So if we can please run those.
Look, just let it go. Gabby, is racism directly affecting you?
No.
Is it affecting your family?
No, but...
So let's just keep the peace and stay quiet. Remember what Jesus said? He loves those who keep the peace. I know it's hard, so here. You did the right thing. That could have been a disaster. What are you doing? Gabby? Stop.
Sometimes I wish I could go back in time. I wish I could see what life was like before it all changed. I've heard stories of what things were like in the past. If I could go back in time just to see.
Again, Amia, beautiful work.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So are you going to continue to enter these into festivals, or is what is the next step for both of these films?
Yeah, so Silence, I'm pretty much done submitting to festivals at this point. If one pops up that I'm interested in, I might submit depending on premiere rules, because this one is already available. But for The Reconnection, I submitted it to a few other festivals that I'm waiting to hear back from.
Okay.
So hopefully, my hope is to release it in August or September, around that time. But yeah, as of right now for festivals, besides The Reconnection, in the few that I already submitted it to, I don't have any more that I'm submitting to at this moment. But I also, sometimes I see some that I'm like, I really want to be a part of this, and if the rules allow for me to do it, I'll submit a film.
Well, I'm excited for the world to see The Reconnection, and as you said, Silence is already available.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to hear where you go with The Reconnection, and you'll have to keep me posted on the festivals and
Yeah, I definitely will.
all of your likely wins. But Amia, it has been an absolute pleasure talking with you today about film and storytelling and listening to the callings within that bring you to create your art. You are an incredibly gifted filmmaker, and you're going to go so many places, and I have no doubt that if you want it, that one day you will make it to the Academy Awards as a nominee. I have no doubt. You are very, very talented, and you have the vision, and you have the passion, and the love, and the calling. And so I'm really excited to see where you go with your career, and so I wish you the best of luck with everything.
Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that.
Absolutely, absolutely. To learn more about Amia's films, visit writtentruthproductions.com, and please stay tuned after the credits to see Amia's recap of her journey to winning 4 awards at the 29th Annual Christian Youth Film Festival. Thank you for joining us for Sentience, Conversations About Lives Being Lived. All episodes can be watched on Akaku channels in Maui County and streamed everywhere on the Akaku Maui Stream app. You can also view all episodes on our YouTube channel. Just look up Sentience, Conversations About Lives Being Lived. I am Alison Samalita, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.
So we just landed in LA, and it is freezing. Not really. It's probably, what would you say it is, that? 40 degrees, which is freezing. So, coming from home,
it's aggressive.
It's unpleasant.
It is not jamming a Bible verse into the story or simply reading a verse at some point. Ask yourself, does this film convey accurately a scriptural principle or concept? And the winner is Silence.
just want to say that I am so honored to be here and to be a part of this festival. This is my first year at this festival, and I'm so excited about this. And I just want to thank all the directors here at the festival, and just thank you for giving me this opportunity, and thank you all for watching my film.
And the winner for Best Actress is Ayana Macias as Gabby in Silence.
So the actress for Silence couldn't be here tonight, but I just want to say all on her behalf that I know she is going to be so excited for this. And again, I just have to say thank you all again.
Nominees for Best Editing are The Reconnection, Silence, and Detestable Things. The winner for Best Editing is The Reconnection. The winner for Best Sound is Silence.